Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bears Den podcast number 74. We have a great show lined up for you tonight because we had defeated the Green Bay Packers and sent their ass to Cancun or to the couch or to the sofa or on to Disney World. I don't care, but we sent them home. Hell yeah. So we have a great show lined up for you guys just because of that. As always, please like us, subscribe to us, follow us, share our content. You can find us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Don't be shy tonight. Send us your comments. Send us your feedback. We love when the crowd interacts with us. And now let me bring out the rest of the Bears in the den. I am your host, Andy. We got our boy Todd joining us.
Hey.
And we have the champ who was trying to join us. He's having technical difficulties. Champ, your camera's not up. But without further ado, let's get started.
There he is.
We slayed the dragon. That's all I got to say. We slayed the dragon. We sent Green Bay the fuck home, and I'm proud of it. I'm glad. I'm rejoiced. Anything that happens now, I'm happy. I don't care. If we lose to the Rams, I don't care. We sent Green Bay home. Todd, how do you feel?
Good. I think we beat that dragon, 3 times now in a calendar year? Something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, that was amazing. It's the happiest and most infuriated I've been in one game in a long time.
And you were thinking about leaving it.
I almost left. As hard as it was to find a place that even aired it because of the whole streaming thing and all that, I almost left. It was, and used to be I'd be the farthest driving to anywhere, not even close now, but I was so frustrated, but yeah, no, it was amazing.
Chicago Clarence, let's hear it. What are your thoughts on what we saw Saturday night? I know you both. Me and you
it's
were
always
hot.
great. It's always great to beat the Packers. I mean, that's not something that we're used to being able to say. More so than beating the Packers, though, I think that you can say that the Chicago Bears have arrived. We have arrived on the scene as being a viable playoff team. I don't think that we're anywhere close to hitting the ability that we're going to have as Caleb Williams matures in his offense and as we get a defense that we're accustomed to having. I think that coming up in the seasons as we add to this football team, the Chicago Bears are going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, like you just said, I think we're defense away from being a Super Bowl contender. But nevertheless, I'm ecstatic because we sent Green Bay the fuck home. We ain't got to hear their shit no more. They are at home, wherever. Cancun, the couch, Mexico, Disney World. I don't care. They're out of the playoffs, and we did it. But with that being said, guys, the throw. Everybody is talking about the throw. So let me break this out real quick. Is it?
Second down.
Let's go back to that previous play on fourth down. But Odunze, by the way, came all the way from the right side. He had a lot.
Clarence, when we saw that throw, I think I said, holy shit. Now that we realize it's fourth down, the game was on the line, the season was on the line. What do you really think of that throw now? I mean, some people were calling it the greatest throw in Chicago Bears history.
I mean, it's really and truly, it's not really hard to have
Oh, come on.
Chicago Bears history.
That's true.
If I have to be honest, I mean, we just can't seem to have a quarterback. I mean, I was riding with my boss today. My boss was riding with me today, and he was asking me how I felt about the Bears, and I just simply told him, I am going to be 53 years old March the 1st, and throughout my life, especially my fandom as a Chicago Bears fan, the Chicago Bears have never had a franchise quarterback and a competent head football coach at the same time. Now, people want to throw out, Jim McMahon. They want to talk about Jay Cutler and all that stuff. To me, those people really do not count because, as Cutler, had a NFL arm, he threw the ball through a wall, but Cutler didn't elevate us. He didn't take us to the next level. And a lot of that had to do with what we put around him, but he never had an offensive line either. And then when we were able to get those things, Lovie Smith couldn't figure out offensive coordinator. So it's not very often that Chicago Bears have a offense that's better than their defense. We have that now. And now we're sitting here wishing we had the defense to go along with this offense. So for me, as you said, the throw, I was just glad that we picked up the first down. Because as miraculous as that throw was, it was 4th down and 8. We don't complete that pass and the ball game is over. We're at home and Green Bay is playing the Rams. Well, Green Bay was what seat was Green Bay?
7. Last seed.
7 seed.
Yeah.
So Green Bay would have been playing Seattle. Yeah. So either way, we would have been home and Green Bay would have been on their way to Seattle. So I was more thankful that the game, that the pass was a first down conversion, so we can go down there and do what we ended up doing, which is get a touchdown.
Yeah.
4th down and 8. Have to get to the Green Bay 49. Williams chased, throws, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. Rome Odunze on a 4th and 8. Keeps it going.
4 Packers in that picture.
So, Todd, what did you think of that throw?
Well, it may be right. That is, Clarence, talking about the quarterback history and just made me laugh like that. I mean, that's true. That was amazing. And he's made amazing throws all year. It's the little things, the little check downs and those that he struggles with. His favorite thing to do is to run right to the sidelines and throw the ball as far as he can. And surprisingly, a lot of those get caught. But anyway, Caleb's great. He's the best we've ever had. I thought that McMahon was pretty special. He just couldn't stay on the field.
Right.
And he was abrasive. I was 15, when they won the Super Bowl. So I liked that he was abrasive because I was 15. But, he was special. I was never much of a Cutler guy, although, he was very tough. And he got a bad rap on most of that stuff. He just never really seemed like he was a team guy. It was kind of my thing with him. But anyway, it's I was thinking about that, earlier this week, and after saying, it's not been that far removed since we had crap for quarterback, and it feels longer than this is his second season. I don't think about quarterback much anymore, and that used to be all that we focused on. So, and as far as a defensive way, we're probably 4 players, maybe. We shoring up linebackers, shoring up pass rush. We're 4 or 5 players away. We're not we're not the best team in the league by any stretch, but they made good adjustments. The defense came out in the second half. If they can play like that, we can go really far. Yeah, there's no reason why we can't win, but they'd have to play like that
the
for
entire
4 quarters. They have to play like that for 4 quarters. However many games as would they be? What, 3 more games, 4 more games?
Yeah.
To win the Super Bowl. I don't expect that, but if they could put together 12 quarters like that, sure, we're as good as anybody.
So, Clarence, let me ask you, Ben Johnson, the first half, I thought he was terrible. Going forward on our 32, that guaranteed Green Bay a touchdown, which they cashed in. None of us at the table thought that was right. And then the 4th and 1, we all thought that was going to be a run. He tried some play action bullshit. They had a bad snap. The timing was off. What do you think of Ben Johnson's first half in particular? Because we all thought Saturday night it was horrible. His decision making.
Looking at Ben Johnson and how he coaches, my problem is not his aggressiveness. My problem is him being cute.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you want to do trick plays, when to me the answer is just simply lining up and running for it. I mean, we've seen games to where we're averaging 5-6 yards a clip, and instead of just lining up in a jumbo package and running the ball to pick up 1 yard, we're lined back up in the shotgun, which is 5 yards out. So now instead of it being 4th and 1, it's now 4th and 6, and you're running a wildcat or some of this other foolishness that we've done before. I like the aggressiveness as long as the aggressiveness makes sense. So sometimes it's just as easy, guys, as people just lining up and doing their job. I am not going to keep referring to me and my boss today, but that's what we talked about today. We talked about people doing their job. And sometimes it's just as simple as that. When I work in the world to where, in order for me to be successful, sometimes it's not just on me, it's just my support doing their job. And we all can be successful. But when you got people missed assignments, you got bad snaps, you got people missing their blocks, I mean, it hurts the play.
It does.
So sometimes it's just that simple enough. He calls a play. If you execute the play, then it's a successful play. But how many times have we've talked about it, and Todd alluded to it before, of Caleb Williams not taking the layups or not taking the checkdowns? The interception he threw, albeit we know DJ Moore quit on the route, but he had 2 people wide open underneath. So
he did.
We mad at Ben Johnson for going for it, but had everybody just executed and did their job, it would have worked out.
All right, let me get to some comments real quick. This is from Ramin 17. Did the Bears actually have an offensive identity yet? I would say yes. Running the ball is our offensive identity. But when you fall behind, we can't run the ball because we got to speed up so the clock don't become the 12th defensive player on that field. Or is that hurting the quarterback's development? Todd, what do you think? I think running the ball is our identity. Do you not? Or should be?
Getting any more talent on the offense. I think that we're pretty well set there.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look, we are going to have a running identity, but I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't think there's a world where, we run 80 plays and 40 of them are runs and 40 of them are passes. I don't think that's a realistic situation. I think if you can do a 65-35 pass to run, that's probably pretty acceptable, and even a 60-40. We have 2 running backs, which we've been fortunate that they've stayed healthy this year. We don't have much depth there.
No.
So we're not going to be an even split 50-50 run, and I don't think anybody is.
No.
But no, I think that we're. The thing that injuries obviously is key to all of that. And like we were talking a little bit about this offensive line situation. our depth there is pretty scary now. Who's our swing? If something goes, if we lose another
Braxton
tackle,
Jones.
this is a situation. So, but everybody has that same problem. You can only carry so many guys. So everybody has a depth problem if you get a bunch of injuries in the same position. But I think as far as collecting talent offensively, I don't think we add many pieces there. Mm-mm.
And then Jonathan Huntley said, nice comeback. Not sure that's going to work in the Super Bowl. No, I agree. We got to play 4 quarters. Clarence, what do we got to do to play 4 complete quarters of football? Like we were joking after we won the game. We need to start at the end of the 4th quarter and work our way back. If we could play that way the whole game, we'd be set. I mean, what do we got to do to get off to a quicker? So we can't keep falling behind like this. So that takes us out of our running game. I mean, why? Does anybody have a reason why we cannot get going to the 4th quarter?
I don't really have the answer for that. All I can just tell you is what we see. The last game of the season, the last time we played Green Bay, we came out extremely flat. When we played the Detroit Lions, we came out extremely flat. And, it's hard to say, you can't continue to do that for a team that's done it 7 times now, including this last Green Bay game. They've done it 7 times now.
Yes.
I don't think that is a good recipe for success.
No.
But I have always felt like, going back to the question that Ramin just asked about, do we have an identity? Our identity should be the run game right now. And the reason why I think that that's more prevalent is for the simple fact that we don't have a good defense. You don't want to give the ball to Matthew Stafford and the collection of talent that he has, that they're bringing to Chicago on Sunday night. You want to limit the opportunities they have to be on the field. The best way to do that is to run the ball. We were screaming about it when they played the 49ers, when we couldn't stop them, and you don't want to be coming out there and slinging the ball all over the place and taking the chances of getting turnovers or going 3 and out and putting the offense back on the field that you can't stop. Because I can promise you this. If we thought stopping the 49ers was going to be hard, we ain't seen hard yet. That offense that we're going to see Sunday night, they got weapons across the board. They have got problems at every offensive position that we care to guard. They got problems at running back. They got problems at tight end. Don't even start it at wide receiver. And oh boy, do they have a quarterback that can spin it. So if we have trouble stopping the 49ers, if we have trouble stopping the Green Bay Packers, we all saw how Green Bay Packer wide receiver was running away from us. What do we think Puka Nacua is going to do to us? What do we think Devontae Adams is going to do to us? So to slow that down, you run the ball. You take time off the clock.
Yes.
That had better be our identity Sunday night.
So Ray Johnston wants to know who's replacing Trapillo. As far as I know, it's going to be Bernadette. Braxton Jones was activated today. He's going to be the first tackle off the bench.
Yeah, and I hope he doesn't get off the bench.
Right. I'm hoping nobody else gets hurt. And TJ Edwards was officially put on IR today. He's done. So DeMarco Jackson will be our starting middle linebacker, which is not a big loss because he has played well. He has filled in for Edmonds and Edwards.
That's almost neutral. The Rams' strength is their defensive line.
Yes.
And obviously Stafford and those 2 receivers. And even that Cody Parks and the tight ends is solid. Their DBs are probably the worst part of their offense, and their linebackers are just average. But they're going to get pressure, and that's where that could be a problem. I mean, I've won, and I know the champ up there. He
the former champ has a comment I have to read off.
I think that it's no secret. I think ESPN put on there the most common denominator in every fantasy champion was Puka Nacua. That guy's unbelievable. And Stafford has all the experience in the world. That he's got this finger problem, so maybe that hurts his accuracy a little bit. I mean, that's his big deal, is he's incredibly accurate. But I don't want to get in a shootout, but I feel like
I don't think it's I don't think it can be with the weather predictions.
Yeah, well, and let me tell you, Kyron Williams is a good running back.
He is.
He's an underrated running back because there's so many stars on that offense.
And the former champ, Alicia Smalls, said, I can't stand the Rams. They barely beat the Panthers.
Yeah,
The Rams, to me, have been like, I thought they were at their best, like right in the middle of the season towards the end. But they lost to the Panthers. They struggled mightily to beat the Panthers. Matthew Stafford will throw some bad balls and give the defense a chance in interceptions. But, I mean, he is hurt. I mean, they're saying it's his index finger on his throwing hand may force the Rams to be in shotgun only, so he don't have the pressure of the snap, but he's going to play. To me, that's a non-issue. That man is going to play. So, Clarence, let me ask you. You brought this up in our pregame. The handshake. Is that offensive to you, Ben Johnson's handshake? Because some people are deeply offended by the way he handled the post-game handshake. What do you think of it?
I don't really understand why they'd be deeply offended, but I think that I mean, listen, it could be a rivalry, but there's a right and wrong way to do things. And especially when you are a position of authority, you know, you be professional. And I think that that's just the way to carry yourself. Extra 2 seconds on that handshake. And I think that you could still go in there and say the things that he said on the hot mic and make it known that he don't like that team. But, you know, let's always handle ourselves with class.
I mean, I personally wasn't offended. I hate that team. I'm glad he hates that team. I'm glad he's really has put some teeth back in this rivalry. Todd, what did you think of the handshake?
You know, I mean, I saw the video of the previous where it was kind of the same situation, and you know, I mean, I think they're being babies about it. You know, he did, you know, I mean, he could have just waved or whatever. I mean, they did shake his hand essentially, right? I mean, it wasn't much of him, but you know, whatever. I'm not really bothered by it.
No, I'm not either. Are either of you bothered by him saying "fuck the Packers" on the hot mic? Which is true, by the way. Are any of you bothered by that?
I mean, I'm not bothered by it because, you know, if it's our locker room and you choose to bring cameras and hot mics in there and you record what you record, it is what it is, because at the end of the day, it is a rivalry. There's nothing wrong with competition against teams and or people whom you don't like. But at the end of the day, you know, we do represent our team. You know, I thought it was clever of him to say, well, you know, I spoke to George and we were on the same page with that. I get that. That's fine. But do you know how many people I work with who I'd love to slap the hell out of? You know,
I got many.
You got to afford yourself with, you know, class and professionalism at all times. And it don't even matter how well you like or you dislike the team. You still have to afford yourself with a level of class. Now, am I being nitpicky over it? No, but I mean, if you ask me, would I have rather him handle that situation a little differently? Yes, I would have. Am I going to lose any sleep over it? No.
So our Bart Arthur says, who's joined us on the show many times, says F the Packers. Todd, let me ask you, the NFL, is there a hotter rivalry in the NFL right now than Bears-Packers? Is there any rivalry hotter? I mean, it compares to Duke UNC in college basketball, which one of us is a UNC fan, but is there a hotter rivalry right now?
Not today, not right now.
In the NFL than Bears-Packers?
No, I do think it's interesting to see George unshackled. I know I've kind of
and that's where I was going
last couple of weeks, you know, with the and I don't know, you know, I mean, it's a year since Virginia, and I feel like I don't know. Maybe he can breathe a little easier now. Because he was just nothing. You know, he was just the, you know, just the fly in the background, would never say anything. And now he actually is, you know, making some statements and doing some things. It's interesting. I'll just say that much. The George thing is interesting.
Alicia Small says, "Yeah, F them. I love a nice rivalry." Were you guys shocked to see George on the telecast actually picking up TJ Edwards' helmet and running it back into the locker room and checking on him? Were either you guys? I was actually stunned by that. That's something I've never seen any owner do, really. Like, that was a little surprising. Were you guys surprised at all by that? I mean, it shows he cares a lot more than I think we realize. I don't see many other owners doing that, honestly.
Yeah. I think either he's gotten a really good publicist, or you're finally seeing the real George a little bit. I'm hoping it's the second one, and I'm happy to see it.
I mean, I was startled to see him running T.J. Edwards' helmet back to the locker room after he was carted off. I wouldn't have expected to see that, honestly, especially from an owner. You think an owner is going to be in a press box in a recliner with a cold beer in his hand, kicked back, not running around football helmets. So I was surprised to see that.
Well, you know why? Because he spent a lot of time in the owner's box, sitting in the recliner with a cold beer in his hand when we were pathetic on the field.
Yeah,
so he finally decided to make some moves, write the check. Let's get some competency in this organization and on the sidelines. So, yes, he can be afforded to be looked at in a different way. Because let's face it, ever since he took this team over, we have been absolutely god-awful.
Yes, he has. True. Let me ask you guys, this was a little heated between two of our people on our show got a little heated. Colston Loveland. Todd loves him. Somebody else still wanted Tyler Warren. But with that being said, Clarence, I'll let you go first. What do you really think of this kid now? I mean, it looks to me like Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams trust him more than anybody else on this offense. What do you really think about this kid now?
I feel the same way I did months ago. I didn't like the pick. I'd rather, if we were going to pick a tight end, I wanted Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren is the better player, and I think it's not fair to look at the situation and say, oh, well, he's doing better than Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren doesn't have the quarterback he has. Tyler Warren doesn't have the offensive line that he has. So if Tyler Warren is in this offense, I think we even feeling more dynamic about our tight end position because Tyler Warren is a problem. He can do things that Loveland cannot do. He is a problem in the red zone. You can run him out of the backfield. He can block. So Loveland can do all of those things, and both of them are nightmare matchups as far as when you put him on a linebacker. But everything Loveland can do, I think Tyler Warren can do, and I think Tyler Warren can do a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Now, Todd? Am I happy that he's on this team and he's producing? Yes, I'm happy he's producing because we're paying him to produce. So.
Yeah.
I was surprised on draft night that it wasn't Tyler.
Oh, I was too. I'll admit it.
I think we all were. Loveland was most of the experts, and I listened to a zillion of them, had Loveland in the early 20s, target like to the Chargers or to the Rams, who apparently was burning the phone lines up trying to do a deal with us to move up to 10 to take Loveland. That's the word. But look, if Loveland had been healthy coming into camp, I'll die on this hill. If Loveland had, if you take the 7 weeks or wherever it was at, if he had been healthy day one in camp, he's rookie of the year without a doubt. He might have the most yards of any tight end in the league. And honestly, I don't know if there's too many tight ends I would take above him right now. I mean, McBride is great, and he's bigger and he can block. He's amazing. Bowers had a good rookie season, not so, but that's such a mess out in Vegas that there's only I'm going to tell you, Loveland's a top 5 or 6 tight end in the league right now. And my downplay, my lead in Warren at draft night was just that the quarterbacking was so bad at Michigan his senior year. Now, it was great his junior year when they won the national championship.
Yes,
and he was a big part of that. But his numbers fell off completely, but the quarterbacking was terrible his senior year there. But yeah, no, and Loveland's 2 years younger. I'm telling you, I think Loveland is Kelsey. I really do. I think he's gonna be a top 2 or 3 tight end for the next 10 years for us.
Yeah,
and Tyler Warren's a good player, but he was a 1-year player. Warren was nothing, and then had one great year, and he's a good player. He really is. But if I'm happy the way things went.
I mean, I know a lot of us. I definitely owe him an apology because I wanted defense there. I thought it was a luxury
Well,
pick.
It was.
I mean, I
And-
definitely wanted to. I mean, we still need defense for sure, but I was not on board with us drafting Loveland, so I definitely will admit I was wrong because he looks like the most trusted player on offense right now.
I mean, we felt pretty good about our receiving core going into
Yes.
that draft. And for us to go Loveland, Burden as the first two players, I'm like, what are we doing? But I love both those picks.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you were necessarily wrong. I
Yeah.
still
Right.
think that we should have drafted a defensive player in that position because defense may ultimately be the reason why we get sent home in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
No, it
So-
will be. No, it will be. Without
It
a
will
doubt.
be.
So, Loveland has just panned out, and, we needed some draft players to pan out. In my opinion,
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody,
it's just a matter of opinion,
Yeah.
who would you have rather had, and if you asking me to choose, I'm going to choose Tyler Warren, and as I love to remind you guys, I am usually right.
it's funny, all the justification on draft night because it was surprising. Because in my mind, if that's the player that you want to take, then maybe you find a way to move down 5 or 6 spots and you can still get that player. But everybody's saying, well, Sam Laporta. Who fell off the planet when Ben Johnson left Detroit? Sam Laporta. I mean, his numbers were terrible this year, and I don't think it was injury related, not much of it anyway. So, but anyway.
So yeah, guys, I think it's pretty apparent that Ben Johnson doesn't trust our defense. It's like his game plan was to not punt the ball ever, with going for it the way he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he knows our defense is not Super Bowl caliber. I mean, unfortunately, I think that's going to be our Achilles heel. That's going to stop us from going where we want to go. So with that, the next game is against the LA Rams. Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. In case you live under a rock and you missed the announcement, the weather is supposed to be very cold, maybe around 0. That favors us a lot. There are reports that Matthew Stafford has an injured index finger on his throwing hand, but I think that's bullshit. He's going to play. He may be in shotgun the whole game, so he doesn't have the pressure of a snap, but he's going to play. With that being said, Todd, what have we got to do to win this game? The LA Rams have weapons. You got Puka,
Yeah.
who is 1,700 yards. Stafford threw for 4,700. They got Adams, Williams, Corums. They got nice players on offense.
Yeah,
And a mastermind.
I think we need to run 30 more plays on them. I mean, it's a time of possession thing. So, the weather probably will be big. I mean, Stafford played at Georgia. Stafford played for the Lions, but he played inside, and half the games there were, division games in Minnesota. So he played in Green Bay and he played us. So he played outside twice a year, depending on how the schedule fell. And then, and now he's in LA. So the weather will make a difference. And so hope that might be the thing that gets us over the hump.
So Darren, our boy who gave us a lot of comments last week, says, sorry for joining late. That's okay, man. Bear down. Not sure if you already spoke about this, but I think Alonzo Jackson should fill in for Edwards, and he will hold his ground. He will. He did. He has played very well and sparingly. He's held his ground, and Edwards is out. He has a broken fibula, so he is done for the season. But Alonzo Jackson has played very well in Edmonds' absence. So, Clarence, Sunday night, who you got? What do we got to do to win the game?
I mean, I've already told you guys, we got to run the ball. Got to run the ball a lot. And when we run the ball, we got to stick to it. We cannot turn the ball over. You don't want to give this offense extra possessions. Even though when I look back and this same team, the years last year when Philly won the Super Bowl, they played this team in the playoffs and the weather wasn't ideal. I think it snowed. The Rams afforded themselves very well. They ended up coming on the short side of the stick, but I think that game could have went very different had it been inside. I think that the weather affects teams that aren't used to playing in it. And yes, it was cold in Philly, but Chicago, Minnesota, and Green Bay, those are different kind of colds, brother.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the wind chill factor. You talk about the wind. and attempting field goals. I think our kicker is used to having to do that. I don't think theirs is. I think that if we're able to run the ball on them, I think that we can win this football game. Todd said something about Kyron Williams. He was on my fantasy team, but Kyron Williams doesn't have no wiggle in his step. He runs the ball north and south. If we're able to shut down their run game, force Matt Stafford to throw the ball, albeit to a bunch of weapons, but if we force him to throw the ball in bad conditions, we have an excellent chance of winning this football game. But we cannot, under no circumstances, start this game out doing the moonwalk in mud. We have got to pull our heads out of our behinds and get with this football game as if it is 2 minutes left in the game. We cannot start this game off flat like we have for the last 4 or 5 games. We will lose, and we will lose badly. This is a different team. Todd McVay is one of the best offensive minds in football. You cannot go in there and play with him. Matthew Stafford is a very capable guy who will pick you apart. We already have a problem rushing the passer. So we're up against it if we allow him to sit back in the pocket and take us apart. He's very capable of doing that. We don't have time to be playing around. We don't have time for missed assignments. We don't have time for offensive penalties. We have got to get them off the field on third down, and we got to keep their asses on the bench when we face third down on offense.
So Alicia Smalls just echo what you just said, Clarence. I really think the defense has to play ahead and not behind. I agree with that. Attack the quarterback. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't get to the other team's quarterback. That's no secret. We haven't done it all year. I don't see how we're going to do it. But, yes, attack the quarterback and make him uncomfortable, make him leave the pocket. Because to me, Todd, Matthew Stafford will throw some ducks. We will have a chance at some interceptions. When we were watching the Panthers game before the Bears game came on, he does throw some ducks.
Yeah, so they got pressure on him. They listen. We're going to have to take a chance. Look, I don't know that we're talent-wise and our growth, we're on borrowed time here, right? I mean, nobody expects us to go any further. So you got to take a chance because he's got this finger problem. It's going to be freezing. We're going to have to blitz him. We're not going to get pressure rushing 4 guys. That's not going to happen.
No.
We have to take a chance, and we'll give up some big plays because of it. But if you just get him off his mark just a little bit, on top of his fingers hurting, on top of he's freezing to death, we got a chance. And look, you might as well gamble it. We're farther than we should have been right now. So I think we need to make adjustments on the fly. We can make adjustments at halftime, clearly. We can come out and do something different. Why can't we make adjustments during the game? You know what I mean?
So our boy Arthur Williams says he's yet to see our run game like he did against the Eagles. Yeah,
that was the peak of it for sure.
Yes, that was the peak. But we've been playing from behind too much. We were playing from behind against San Francisco. We were playing from behind against Green Bay. We were playing behind last Saturday night against Green Bay. When you play from behind, you don't run the ball because you need possessions quickly. I mean, the clock becomes the 12th man on defense, basically, because you're working against it. But, I mean, the Rams, when you look at their defense, they're 16th in total, 19th in passing, 12th in rushing, 10th in points, and they get the other teams off the field. They're 7th in the league in third down efficiency on defense.
Yeah.
And I like some of their players on defense.
I mean, they got Fisk. Line is outstanding, yeah.
They got Brandon Fisk, Jared Verse, Byron Young, who most people have not heard of, number 0, actually leads the team with sacks. He has 12.
Yeah.
And Kobe Turner is another nice defensive end. He has 7 sacks, number 91. So their defense is just as good, but offensively, holy shit, they're really good offensively. They are 2nd in total yards, 1st in passing, 7th in rushing, and 1st in points. They average 30.5 yards a game. So I don't know how we're going to combat that offense. And Sean McVay, as you guys point out, is, I would argue, one of the best coaches in the game, if not the best.
For sure.
He's been to the Super Bowl twice with 2 different quarterbacks in golf and Stafford. I would argue he's one of the best in the game. Clarence, what do you think of I mean, exactly we got to do to win this game? We got to run the ball. We got to move Stafford off his spot. Is any of this possible? Make him uncomfortable. Keep the offense on the sidelines for the Rams. Can we do it?
Well, if you look at the quarterbacks that give the Chicago Bears trouble, even the backup quarterbacks, they all have one thing in common that Stafford doesn't have.
Mobile.
They are mobile. So if we're able to make them leave the pocket and break containment, Stafford's not going to hurt us with his legs. Now, if you let that old man get out the pocket and burn us multiple times with his feet, then shame on you, because that should not happen. But when I tell you the guy can throw the ball downfield with pinpoint accuracy and manipulate defenses with his eyes, I'm talking about throwing no-look passes. This guy can do it. He will do it. We've seen it all year. He's got 47 touchdowns, for God's sake. And are they lethal in the red zone? He gets us in the red zone. We almost always might as well line up for the extra point because they're going to score. They've got weapons all over the place. And our secondary, whom I thought coming into the season was our greatest strength, has been a colossal letdown. Don't talk to me about the fact that we lead in the league in interceptions and whatnot. That's for the fact that teams are throwing on us, and they're throwing on us a lot. So do I think that we probably will get a turnover sometime during this game? Yes, because Stafford is a gunslinger. But we've got to make them pay when we've got the ball. We have got to put the ball in the end zone, because as bad as we talking about our defense, their defense is not that great either. They can be scored on. We can move the ball on them, but we've got to make them pay. And like I said, we don't have time to be playing around. We have got to be engaged. And I'm talking about right after the national anthem, we got to be ready.
Yeah, no, their defensive line is great. The rest of their defense is just okay. So,
but their offense is really, really good.
But, again, one of my fingers is hurt and it's 0 degrees and I don't want to be out here and it's night already. It's colder every second. And I don't know what the same what the wind's going to be. Have they talked about that? I mean, there's always going to be wind there. You know that. And so, you just we've got to take all that into play, and we're going to have to blitz him.
So our friend Arthur Williams said our secondary has been getting cooked the last few games.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And we're starting to see why C.J. Gardner-Johnson's been a journeyman. He can't play nickel. I mean, we're trying to bring Kyler Gordon back, and even Kirk Herbstreit pointed out he was getting cooked during the game. And that's fine because he's trying to come back. He's trying to help. He's probably not 100%. Jalen Johnson's probably not 100%. And at some point, you're out of options. I mean, right now, the team is the team. You're not going to make no trade. You're not going to sign a free agent. The team is the team right now. Every team is battling injuries.
Let me come to our secondary defense a little bit.
And we don't have a pass rush, which does not help.
When you don't have a pass rush, almost every secondary is going to have big plays made on them. I mean, it's just facts. Because the NFL rules are designed for scoring. You can't do this to the defensive play after this. You can't touch him. You can't breathe on him. You can damn near can't even say hello to him without them throwing a flag on you. And every little forcible contact or minor contact, they want to call it pass interference. So, I'm surprised that we have played as much man coverage as we had with no pass rush. But hell, I was saying the same thing with zone 2. You just can't allow a quarterback to stick back there. We have got to blitz. We have got to make him speed up his clock. People have got to get home. Montez Sweat name was called. I think he even got a game ball. I didn't really feel like he deserved it.
Booker was better, far better.
I thought Booker was better too. Like I said before, I have told you the only time we've been calling Montez Sweat's name is doing player introductions, because we damn sure ain't calling it throughout the game. But he's got to start to earn his money. It's winning time now, y'all. It's winning time. 2 more games, and we're playing in the Super Bowl. You don't get this close without pulling out all stops. I mean, people really digging down deep. You got to want it. You have got to want it. The L.A. Rams was expected to be in this position. We wasn't. So what do we got to lose?
No.
Let's go get it.
Yeah, I mean, just send these blitzes. Like Gardner Johnson, you talked about, he's a safety. He's not a nickel, and he's not a cornerback. He might have been a nickel / safety at 22, 23, 24. He's 27. He's a safety. We need him to be a safety. He'll hit somebody. He can direct guys. He's got a lot of experience. But, Stevenson is a corner. Throw him in at nickel. I mean, at least he's a corner, right? You don't have a safety trying to cover that. So, I mean, I don't understand what we were doing there, but that's been a couple of games ago. So, but
and whoever is on Puka, you need to roll a safety over the top.
Yeah,
he needs to be double all game.
I mean,
or he's going to eat you alive.
I mean, depending on the situation, I mean, play a dime, throw one linebacker back there, see how that goes. I mean, they might they might run down your throat in that case, but you just make these adjustments.
They don't have that kind of running game, Todd. They really don't.
Well, their offensive, look, our strength, right? The best part of our team right now is our interior offensive line. That means we should be able to pound the ball and eat the clock, right? Those guys have stayed healthy all year. Those guys, a couple of those guys are all pros now, and they're going to the Pro Bowl. That's the strength of the team. Use those guys, Dahlman, Tooney, Jonah Jackson. Use and Darnell. Just
pound it.
That's it. That's what you've got to do.
Pound the shit out of that ball.
Take chances on defense, make them uncomfortable. I don't care who you are. You get the least bit uncomfortable, you're not going to be as accurate. You're going to be out there freezing to death. You got nothing to lose. I mean, if we lose this game, this is an amazing season.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm at peace with whatever happens. Beating Green Bay was cherry on top for me. If we lose, I'm at peace with it. I'm okay with losing. I'm at peace with it. I wanted to beat Green Bay. I did not want them to send me home. But I agree with you guys, man. It's go time. Yeah. You take a chance on defense. You try to pound that ball on offense. You try to control the clock. You shorten the game. You limit their possessions on offense. But we need to stay ahead because, unfortunately, we've been falling behind, as I've been saying, and we've been abandoning the run because we had no choice.
Yeah. If the game plan's wrong out of the gate, then make changes before halftime.
Yeah. Yeah, the coordinators is going to be a mess, but I will agree that we are ahead of schedule, but we don't got this close. We've got this close, and I'm getting to the point to where I can smell it. I don't went on a date. We don't had a good time, and now she don't invited me in for coffee. I got to close the deal. You got to close the deal.
See, I don't drink coffee. Maybe that's my problem.
You got to close the deal.
So Alicia Small says, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better and your better gets best. Go Bears and send the damn Rams home. I agree with that.
Worked up.
You can tell she's related to somebody on the show because she's fired up already. All right, let's go. Let's head into our final thoughts, man. I'll kick us off. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the feedback. I'm just going to say you can find us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm just going to say go Bears, man. Like you guys have already said, you just do whatever it takes to get the win. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be sexy. It doesn't have to be the prettiest girl or guy. Let me be politically correct in 2026.
At the dance.
Yes, doesn't have to be the prettiest girl or guy. Let me be correct in 2026. Just get the win. I don't care if it's 97-96 or 3-2. Just get a win in advance. Find a way to win. That's all you got to do is find a way to win. Go Bears, bear down, beat the Rams. Todd, what are your final thoughts?
Well, so Mike Tomlin resigned today, and so that leaves a 42-year-old quarterback with nowhere to go, and I'm happy to do his obituary. Matt Stafford, we've talked about it. Matt Stafford is my favorite non-Bear, especially quarterback in the league. I've mentioned that before. I'm rooting against him obviously this week, but my least favorite quarterback in the league is a guy named Aaron Rodgers and has been for a long time. And I don't believe another team is going to reach out to him. I assume Pittsburgh is going to go a complete different direction with a new coach, and I'm not saying they're going to tear it down, but I can't imagine they'd offer him a job back. So I feel like this is probably the end of the road for him, and And his last several years have been pretty enjoyable between the Jets and all the other moves that he made. I've had a good time, but I'm ready to not see him on the sideline anymore.
At least we got to send Aaron Rodgers home in a loss the last time he faced the Bears. I mean, his ego is too big to take a second string job.
Yeah.
So I don't know who was going to sign him either.
Yeah, we got a little time here still. You know, I've got a framed picture of Mike Ditka. They was actually flipping off fans in San Francisco. You know, back I think that was in '84 when they were close. You know, and I thought about all the respectable, nice coaches that we've had since then, and I don't have any framed pictures of those guys. So I'm down with Ben Johnson and what he has to say. I you know, we should be respectful, but you know. Maybe not always, right? So
there's a lot of hatred with these two teams.
Yeah,
a lot of hatred with these two fan bases.
I'm here for it.
So, Chicago Clarence, what are your final thoughts, man? How's your blood pressure?
Well, my final thoughts is not going to be football related. I kind of wrestle with things because there's a lot going on in this nation. A lot of it that concerns me, and I was going to touch on some of it, but I'm not even going to do that. I woke up yesterday morning with the news of somebody that I have known a long time in the bowling circle who passed away at home Sunday night, had a heart attack. It touched me because we were at the bar Saturday. You know, it was really loud. It was packed with Panther fans, and he called me, and I didn't get the phone call and didn't see it until later on. And he left me a voice message, and I heard it for the first time today. And the guy's not even here anymore. His name was Xavier Simmons. We used to call him Zay for short. He was a Detroit Lions fan. He was from the area, and he was rocking with the Detroit Lions when they was worse than we were.
That says a lot.
When they were the worst team in the league every single year, he proudly wore his colors. He was the type of person that everybody always stopped and said hello to. He had quit bowling due to health reasons about 2 years ago. But we kind of stayed in touch. We always would make bets when the Bears played the Lions, or, you know, go back and forth, talk trash to each other. And the world is a worse place today without him. He was a really good guy. I'm going to miss seeing him. I'm going to miss texting him when it was time for the Lions and the Bears to play. And my words are just rest easy, big homie. You will be definitely missed. Those are my final thoughts.
And Arthur and myself, and I'm sure Todd will say, sorry for your loss, brother. Arthur is saying it in the chat. And I'm sorry for your loss, Clarence.
Appreciate it.
He's got to be a good guy to stick with Detroit his whole life, because that was some bad years. So you already know he's a good guy.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So with that, like I said, beat the Rams. By hook or crook, I don't care how. Beat the Rams Sunday night. Get to the NFC Championship. Until next time, bear down. Peace out.
Wait a minute, hold
on.
on. Todd, what you doing Saturday night?
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Sunday night, yeah.
I'll be with you guys. Where are we going to be?
Okay,
we're going to be at Boardwalk Billy's, right?
Yes, we'll be at Boardwalk Billy's. Let everybody know.
Boardwalk Billy's.
My daughter's going to be in there raising. She's going to be in there raising the roof. Y'all know how loud she could be. I don't know where she gets that from.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
You live in Charlotte, North Carolina area, join us at Boardwalk Billy's University area, right across the street from Charlotte 49er campus. Again, Boardwalk Billy's, Charlotte 49er campus, right across the street. Till next time, peace, bear down, and beat the Rams.
See you there, bear down.
Ladies and gentlemen.